welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is from Patreon subscriber King of the Depths, and he is in his domain today, has sent me Eldrazi Depths. I am releasing this video on March 31st. This is the day of the scheduled ban and restricted update announcement from Wizards of the Coast. Myself and many Legacy players think that Sowing Mycospawn should not be legal in the format. I hope that this video is a goodbye to that card. King of the Depths has been a steady voice in the BoshNRoll Patreon community, talking about Sowing Mycospawn is cool, actually. And while I disagree, I am happy to play the deck and play powerful cards while we have access to them. Maybe nothing happens today, and this whole conversation is pointless, but here's Sowing Mycospawn. And what we've got going on here is a little bit of a hybrid. Traditionally, the Depths strategies, the green-white Depths deck is a creature deck. Knight of the Reliquary, Elvish Reclaimer, Green Sun Zenith to tutor. It can hit pretty hard on the board, and if you get caught slipping at any point, they can drop a 20/20 on you with a bunch of different tricks they play. We've got some of those tools here. Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, that's the combo. Make a 20/20. Crop Rotation can bring it together. Exploration can make it happen faster. Sowing Mycospawn can bring it together. Ancient Stirrings and Kozilek's come in and dig for your pieces. And while they aren't quite Knight of the Reliquary and Elvish Reclaimer, Sowing Mycospawn and Thought-Knot Seer can provide the beats if you need them to. And then we got the Eldrazi side of things. Thought-Knot Seer can check the opponent's hand. The Depths decks usually use cards like Sejiri Step or Talon Gates of Madara to protect their combo. We don't have those, but we have Thought-Knot Seer to check. And we have the One Ring. Just goes in basically all decks that can accelerate at this point, and this deck's got 2 Ancient Tombs and 4 Mox Diamonds and Exploration, a bunch of ways to accelerate this thing out. It can be found off the Ancient Stirrings that we're using to find our combo pieces in our Eldrazi anyway. Why the heck not? Here is the One Ring. This deck I'm going to try to beat down with my Thought-Knot Seers and Sowing Mycospawns while distracting my opponent from the Dark Depths I'm assembling in the background, or I'll assemble Dark Depths right in the foreground while beating them down with the 4/4s and 3/3s while they deal with that. Either way, I'm happy with it. And if they sit back on removal for too long, I'll find a One Ring and bury them. Coming at you from a bunch of different angles here. Mono green deck. Trying to make something cool happen in Legacy outside of the completely busted, mostly solved Eldrazi shell. We're doing something a little different. Sowing Mycospawn, I hope this is the last time I have to play with you in this format. But if not, either way, let's have this last outing. This is Eldrazi Depths from King of the Depths. Announcing the Royal Index, an NYSE Open Qualifier and Charity Vintage Tournament hosted by the Rochester Royals. Saturday, May 31st, come to this unlimited proxy vintage event in Fairport, New York. The winner gets free entry to the $500 NYSE Open or a Portal Imperial Seal. And there's free pizza. Great magic for a great cause and the first step on the path to winning the NYSE's Power 9 prizes. Scan the QR code or use the link to rocroyalsmtg.com in the video description to sign up. I am on the draw in round 1. I have a turn 2 One Ring and a fast Dark Depths here. I'm going to keep a Tropical Island from the opponent and a Ponder. As a Merit Lage gamer, cards you don't want to see are Karakas and Swords to Plowshares. Ooh, here's this asshole. Okay, I'm going to play Eldrazi Temple and then use Mox Diamond discarding Dark Depths, and then I'll loam it back. The most common Simic deck right now is Omnishow. Stock Up has really put that deck back on the map. A Show and Tell deck will be terrible if that's what I'm playing against. Okay, so this is probably Nadu Breakfast now. I see the pieces coming together. Not going to Dredge Loam. Hand's already full of gas. Okay, I can take a poke at their hand here. I could jam the One Ring. I think I'm just going to go full Eldrazi mode, playing around Daze. Let me see what you're working with, and then I'll kick him. Turn 3 Mycospawn next turn. Wee! Are we having fun? I am, because I am the jerk today. Force pitching force on that one. Okay. I hope I don't die to a combo right now. 3 mana and passing. And you would normally think this is a good spot to be in as just a Magic player, right? But you're wrong, because Sowing Mycospawn is here. 6 mana in the pool? You know what that is. And do you have another force? Guess what? It doesn't matter. Exile target land. I'll take the Tropical Island, and I'm going to tutor Wasteland to deal with the Tundra as well. They would have to have Consigned to Memory here. Okay, I've tutored a Wasteland. They have a blue floating. I'll change phases. Brainstorm. Okay, I'll let Brainstorm resolve, because I don't want them able to daze their own Brainstorm and pay for it if I Wasteland Tundra right now. And it basically doesn't matter. But they've given up on a construct here. I could still lose to Breakfast Combo if I waste the Tundra. Like, if they float colorless, tutor Shuko, play an island and a... Yeah, I think I have to waste the Saga here. I wish I had thought about that a little more. I would have rather taken Tundra than Trop if I wasn't going to waste the 2 colored sources. Alright, Swords to Plowshares. That's fine. I have Stage Depths. Straight up. It's face up. They know about it. Okay, could still lose this turn. Crop Rotation would help. A Wasteland would help. Oh, wait. I have fucking Life from Below. I have Wasteland. I always have Wasteland. That's how this works. Get this Wasteland back. I think it is better to cut them off mana than it is to try to make a 20/20, because they can't just beat a 20/20, but they do need 2 mana to do it. So right now, the card in their hand and the card in the top of their deck have to be Land Nomad. They just milled over a Nadu. Or Land Illusionist. You all know what I meant. But instead, they'll concede to my Wastelock. Cool. This game brought to you by Sowing Mycospawn. Alright, Nadu Breakfast confirmed, or at least Nadu something or other. We saw Nadu and Nomad. The Urza Saga is usually only in Breakfast, not in the Zenith Nadu decks. Wastegate Battle Mage. If you kick this green, exile an artifact or enchantment, that could be Shuko, that could be Saga. When you kick this blue, bounce a creature. That mostly doesn't matter. I guess if they make some constructs that matters, but I should be able to beat constructs anyway. I like Flute. I like Dismember. Crop Rotation is good because it gets Bajuka Bog. That's a line. Maybe I'm not really that interested in Exploration on the draw. This matchup's going to be really fast. It's not going to be that grindy. And I only have 2 loams. I'm not a lands deck where this is the core engine I have. It's just a thing I do. It's only 3 cuts, though. I don't really want to shave a ring, but that is where I'm looking next. Are there any lands in the package I don't really need? And this deck does not attack my mana. I could live without the Waste, or maybe without one of the basic forests. I think Waste is worse than basic forest. A Waste and a ring. And I still have my Disruption and my tutor for the win con, other Disruption. I could see a loam being worse than a ring. I'm going to go like this, though. A bunch of Kozilek's commands that don't work. A Thought Not Seer I can't cast. This is a mulligan. I like this one more. I will keep it and bottom... I think I'm going to bottom a Coast. Ox Diamond cost me an extra card to keep, but having Kozilek's command up on turn 1 is pretty gross. Cavern of Souls, you got it. Cavern casts Tameo. Okie dokie. Okay. Mox Diamond, I'll start there. They can't daze me with a Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi Temple, and I'm going to exile Tameo and make a Dingus. That gets me the 4 mana to Thought Not Seer or Sowing Mycospawn next turn. That is a wizard. I'd love to draw a mana source. Any untapped mana at all gets me Thought Not Seer plus Crop Rotation. Okay, so I could see their thoughts. I could hold up Crop Rotation. That isn't a great plan, though. I could Mycospawn and take out Tundra. I could Mycospawn tutor a green source that holds up Crop Rotation. I don't love that either. Yeah, a bunch of different options that win or lose in different ways here. I think I'm going to go Mycospawn. That's the one that they can't counter the important aspect of. Okay, I'm going to get Wasteland, and I'm going to take out the Tundra, and hope that they don't have white plus Nomad immediately. I failed the test. Shuko, you did it. Okay, I would like to see their deck, but they do win. And they didn't actually even need the land if they had Shuko. Got Memories Journey in here. Consigned to Memories. Multiple. Thassa's Oracle. Dread Return. 12 cards left. We haven't seen an Archimedes yet. There's one. Ooh, are we getting a turn? My goodness. They must have an Archimedes in their hand. Oh my god, I drew the card I wanted. Now I can test them with Thought-Knot Seer, and then kill them with Bojuka Bog. See them Thoughts, Consigned to Memory, Nadu, Narcomoeba. I think they're just dead. I'll take Nadu and then Crop Rotate for Bojuka Bog. The Oracle's in there. Yeah, sweet. Okay. So it took some awkwardness to have this Narcomoeba, but if I didn't Wasteland them last turn, they would have had Consign up that could have countered the Bojuka Bog trigger, and then they win. So the Wasteland did matter, but only because they happened to be holding a Narcomoeba. Or they could have also hardcast Narcomoeba and just won. So the Wasteland did matter, even if it did take just this thin outer here. But that was sweet. Okay, on to the next one. The 9th installment of the NYSE Vintage Open Series is coming. This 15 proxy vintage tournament with Power 9 prizes takes place on Saturday, June 14th, 2025 in Long Island, New York, and has a $500 entry fee. That's a hefty entry, but the guaranteed prizes for top 8 are unlimited Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. The NYSE Open 8 went well for me last year. Someone better come stop me from getting another Lotus. Will it be you? I'll be at the NYSE Open 9 on June 14th, and I hope to see you there. Register on melee.gg or use the link in the video description. I'm on the draw for round 2. I have a hand that would be broken in half with Life from the Loam, but I don't have that card. This hand actually sucks if it doesn't have Life from the Loam. I'm going to mulligan this, which hurts because there's so many cool cards. All right, here we go. Keep this. Bottom, you have a Maya Coast. Eldrazi Gaming. I wouldn't mind one of those Mox Diamonds now. Island Ponder. Handsome and smart. This cool Mech Island. My basic land choices are locked in at this point, but I like this one a lot in terms of newer art ones. They did not shuffle with Ponder. Eldrazi Temple, you don't say. Well, I guess I'm going to play this Ancient Tomb and pass. Ancient Tomb can tell a variety of stories. Eldrazi Temple only tells one story. That's why I'm leading on the Tomb. Wasteland is mostly fine. They're taking out the land that hurts me. It's also a reason to lead on that instead of Temple. Basic Island plus Wasteland. They could just have the one Basic Island Delver plays, or this could be Dreadnought. There's not a lot of decks that play these two cards next to each other in the metagame right now. Wait, Karumba. Alright, now I feel slightly sad that I got my Ancient Tomb wasted. At the time, these cards were the same. Now, one of them is much worse. I'm still leading on the Temple, because if I spike another 2-mana source, I would like to be able to cast a spell. Brainstorm. They're still moving cards around. Polluty Duty. Oh, right. Reanimator. Demir Tempo. Those are all decks that also play Wasteland and Basic Island. I've deleted those from my brain because I hate them. Right, I'm going to play this Wasteland. If they think they were going to fetch Undercity Sewer here, I'm going to punish that. And if they just fetch like Basic Swamp to play around it, I have Kozilek's Command up. Basic Swamp, you did it. Troll of Khazad-dûm cycled. And there's the Undercity Sewers. Bummer. Also a Wasteland. I guess here I exile Troll of Khazad-dûm and make a spawn. I'm just not going to get to cast this card again for a long time. And I might as well take the pressure off and try to replace my mana where I'm able to. I don't mind the Wastelands at all. I mind what might happen once the Wastelands have run their course. Okay, Force Pitching Brazen Borrower. Sure. So they are planning on actually reanimating this thing this turn. And there it is. Now I'm worried. Mox Diamond. I can play Forest and pass. Any land off the top gets me the One Ring. Any land off the top unlocks my hand. I could just discard whatever it is to Mox Diamond. A Ponder. The Ponder did not shuffle, and then Undercity Sewer is going to clear a card from Ponder. I hope this isn't a Traxor or Archon of Cruelty that we see drop into the graveyard here. Murktide Regent. Okay. A little scary that they're willing to dump a win con. Like, that thing would kill me pretty fast. On deck. We did it. Okay, Thespian Stage is more important than Yavimaya Coast, Mox Diamond, and I would like to check their hand first to clear their launch pad for a 1-ring next turn. I haven't tested a Daze yet, but they did pitch Brazen Borrower and not Daze to Force of Will 2 turns ago. Bowmaster, Fatal Push, Reanimate. Interesting. I think it's Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm about to resolve a 1-ring is my plan to try to turn this game around. And reanimating Murktide Regent's not that good. If the top card of their deck is Entomb, they got me. Okay, it's Metamorphosis Fanatic, sure. That's mostly the same. The lifelink sucks, but it's fine. My plan is to 1-ring my way into Merit Lage here anyway. Can't block. I'll land. I'll lead on the ring, because I might draw a different land. Or should I fetch first to reduce the number of lands I could draw? I'm going to draw first. Through Exploration. Exploration is a combination with the 1-ring, because you could play more lands in a turn. Okay. I could attack, but I don't actually want to trade with Metamorphosis Fanatic and feed them a card. I am very dead next turn. They can Fatal Push Thought-Knot Seer now. And they can reanimate Thought-Knot Seer, but they can't take from me because I have the protection. Okay, here we go. Several draw steps to roll them all. They're fetching in response. They're going to kill my Thought-Knot Seer now and try to spike Orcish Bowmaster off their draw step. It's not the worst plan I've ever heard. We did it. Okay, I can tutor for many lands here. Are any of them good enough? I don't have a Maze of Ith or a Glacial Chasm kind of thing. We're not that deep on the land strategy. I could make Merit Lage and eat Metamorphosis Fanatic. I'd still take 9 from the other things. And then 2 more from my ring. Yeah, I think what I needed here was another ring to really chain them together and do some mess. Okay, Merit Lage is not good enough here. I'm out. Reanimator is what I'm playing against. Or at least Dimir Tempo with some reanimates. Wastecape Battle Mage rules. Playline of the Void, probably necessary. If they have Metamorphosis Fanatic, they're probably more on the reanimator side. What if I don't want a Battle Mage? I don't know if this is just not my style, or the sideboard is not mapped in a way that is clear to me, but I seem to have 10 cards I want against Tempo Reanimator, and nearly 0 cards I want to take out. I could cut Explorations and Loams and Ancient Stirrings and just try to be like Eldrazi Stompy. I've basically just boarded into the default Eldrazi deck with different mana. I guess that makes sense here. Again, it's a matchup where I wouldn't really want to be lands versus Reanimator. Okay, I can cast a Sowing Mycospawn at some point. I don't have a Leyline of the Void in my hand. I'm not casting these rings. I'm actually going to mulligan. This hand is worse. I'm going to 5. This is about as good as the first 7 I mulligan, but now on 5 it looks a lot better. I'm going to bottom Mox Diamond, and I think Dismember should go, even though I want it. I'm going to lead on Yavimaya. If they wasteland me, I want to be able to crop rotate away. They've got a Misty Rainforest. There's that basic island again. And a Ponder. They did not shuffle their Ponder. Basic island. I'm going to play Eldrazi Temple. Even though it's worse against Wasteland, it is better at casting Kozilek's Command. Wasteland. I'm going to float a nothing. I'm going to use it green mana and crop rotate this into just another Eldrazi Temple. Yeah, that's a pretty heads up Force of Will. I did get a 3 for 2 out of that exchange, but that only matters if I can unlock my colorless mana again and get back to work, which I cannot currently do. Treacherous Maul to 5. Another Wasteland. Okay. But like last game, this only matters if they can apply pressure. If I'm just hitting land drops and they've got a bunch of Wastelands in their graveyard, that's not a big deal. When they cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm or resolve an Entomb is when I'll be really worried. Blooded Strand. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Have a look. None of them are very good right now. But they're all very good if I draw Ancient Tomb. Another Yavimaya. You just wasted one of those, sucker. Legendary land. That's basically card advantage. Beastorm. Flooded Strand. Entomb Reanimate is now live at all times. I mean, We've seen Murktide Regent. I'll just play this Bojuka Bog. I have One Rings in my deck that I do need an untapped 4th land to cast if I draw. Would have preferred to clip something useful with that. If they were hesitating around a crop rotation into Bojuka Bog, now they don't have to. Ancient Tomb? Oh, Dark Depths. That's so close to being the colorless land I'm looking for. An Ancient Tomb or a Eldrazi Temple would have been great there. This Barrow Goyf's going to get some beats in. Metamorphosis Fanatic. That's more lifelink. There were no dead creatures anyway, but Bojuka Bog still making a point. A Barrow Goyf gets to mill 3, and they hit Troll of Khazad-dûm, which they will take because they still have a land drop available. Holding it back, though. Come on, deck. We need cards. That's not it. All right. I'm dead here. I'm good. Yeah, the Mold of 5, Double Wasteland game 1. Just a fast deck. One of the weaknesses of Eldrazi is Reanimator, and we just happen to be playing an even clunkier than normal Eldrazi deck, where the clunkiness does not cover gaps in the Reanimator matchup. It actually makes it worse, I think, because Merit Lage is not reliable against the deck that plays Archon of Cruelty and up to 3 Brazen Borrowers in the main. But that's fine. This is another card, or another deck that I hope is down a card or 2 by the end of today. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 3. I'm going to keep this. I could aggressively crop rotate into Ancient Tomb to have a turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer if I feel like that's what the matchup's about. If the matchup's slower, I'll just hit my land drops and chill. I also have access to Bojuka Bog out of the crop rotation if that's what the matchup's about. Opponent's on a Mold of 6. Ancient Tomb. Please cast Chalice. It's weird because I actually do kind of care about 1-drops in this deck, but also, like, pretty much not really also. Blast Zone. I'm going to lead on Basic Forest. I'm going to try to come up with 4 mana on the turn where it matters. But if we're playing against Red Stompy, okay, it's just an Eldrazi mirror. Where they were on the play. Flesh Raker. I don't play that guy. Lotus Petal. This is 3 mana now. The One Ring. We're so close, team. Yeah, this Chalice actually does matter. It is kind of a stinker for the matchup, but being on the draw with the crop rotation, I could have had Thought-Knot Seer or the One Ring in play right now if Chalice wasn't there. But it is. They got 2 cards left in hand. One of them's Wasteland. Yep. Can't crop rotate that away. What's this last card? Is it something that kills me, or are you out of gas? If they're out of gas, I have a chance, but they have so much mana. Whatever they got is good enough here. It looks like they're about to kick a Mycospawn. Oh, it's even bigger. Never mind. Oh, this is probably a Kozilek's command where X equals however much they have, which is going to be a fireball and more. Yeah. If I take 7, they'll have 7 mana after they scry 6 and draw a card. Seeing all this happen makes me wonder why we're trying to make Merit Lage. Obviously, we're just trying different stuff within the shell, which I appreciate and always welcome on the channel, but this is more about a diagnosis of Legacy itself at this current time, where why would you do anything interesting if games are just decided on or around turn 2? It's my opponent's 3rd turn. They might actually kill me this turn. They went 3 top, 3 bottom. If it's just like multiple more Kozilek's commands, I could lose. If they just play the One Ring draw card, I lose to that. I'm going to concede because I don't want them to know really what I'm up to. Yeah, what a bloodbath. Last round was determined by reanimating a quick threat. The round that I won was the one where we went back and forth a little bit. Okay, dismembers come in. I don't need Bojuka Bog in this matchup. I like the idea of loam locking someone. The lands half of the deck actually is pretty interesting here, but Exploration only really matters on turn 1, and if they leave their chalices in, that's a bummer. Wastegate Battle Mage could do stuff, but I don't think I really have cuts here, unless I'm willing to cut the Dark Depths package, which King of the Depths and I did not discuss. But you know what really sucks against Kozilek's command? Merit Lage. X equals 0. Exile Merit Lage, draw a card. Just tap an Eldrazi Temple and that just happens. We didn't discuss that. I think it is reasonable to do here though, but I'm not gonna. And maybe I'll shave us Stirrings too. I'm just trying to reduce my exposure to Chalice of the Void. Yeah, I'm going to submit. I would bring in Wastegate Battle Mage in a traditional Eldrazi mirror, but I'm not really doing traditional Eldrazi stuff. Right, I'm going to keep this. I have Life from the Loam. If they wasteland me, I can just draw a card with Kozilek's command if I need to. The One Ring's pretty good at breaking open Stompy Mirrors. Yeah, I'm not super happy with this, but it is going to happen. Target player scries X, draws a card, and makes 0 idiots. It's just really important to me to hit my next mana source before I lose, because if I cast this Loam, I catch up to all this immediately. Crop Rotation, not bad. Now I hope they do wasteland me again. I have Eugene. Come on deck, mana source. We did it. I could Life from the Loam right now. I guess that's what I do, yeah. It hurts, but it's happening. Loam picking up. Tomb. This can cast the One Ring next turn, unless I get Thought Not Seared or burned out by Glaring Fleshraker before that happens. Temple Pass. I'll take it. Okay, I'm not going to Dredge Loam. What I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to wasteland them using my Crop Rotation and then cast Thought Not Seer. How do I do this? I want to keep my green source around. I think I'm going to lead on the Thought Not Seer, even though wasting them first would play around Dismember, but I would like at least a look at this hand. Let me see them thoughts. They did have the Dismember, but they have to draw the card before I see their hand, so this basically works out to be the same thing. Mycospawn, 3 Lotus Petals. My god. Alright, well, I can't actually take them off mana here. Good to know. I'm taking Mycospawn for sure. And what happens if I wasteland? They still have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Alright, I'll take Sowing Mycospawn and just pass the turn, I guess. And try to get something going with the One Ring next turn. Or if I draw a mana source and get my own Mycospawn going. They drew Once Upon a Time, hard cast it. Fleshraker in the hand now. A big opportunity to draw a mana source. Nope. I could play the Ring, buy myself a little bit of time. Yeah, I'll just do that. Did I just miss out on Merit Lage? I think I might have just fucked up. I was thinking about Mycospawn so hard that, yeah, if I float colorless, crop rotate, yeah. I had Dark Depths there and chose not to go for it because I'm very smart. I'll pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. I'm gonna dismember this Fleshraker as soon as I get priority. Oh, they have a different card. That's too much mana. Null Drifter, fun. And that thing was just cast. That's in play. They have it for real. I'm not allowed to be mad about anything though. If you have the chance to win a game and don't take it, you're not allowed to complain. I'm at 8. Not going to Dredge Loam. I will play Dark Depths. I think I'm going to go for the win now. They did just draw a bunch of cards. Now they could have Kozilek's Command. Life is hard. Though none of their mana that I can see can cast Glaring Fleshraker. That's interesting. I could kick Sowing Mycospawn here, take out Ancient Tomb and Eldrazi Temple. I don't think that makes any sense, though. I'm going to play Dark Depths and pass and just try to win. I can kill Glaring Fleshraker if I need to. I'm not going to draw cards with the Ring, because if Fleshraker gets a few points in, I don't want to just barely lose. There is the Fleshraker. Okay, now it's time to respond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Command. I have protection. I can't even draw cards here. God, that sucks. Or no, it's been in play. I just didn't use it. Never mind. We're good. Target player makes spawns. Exile target creature. X. I'll make spawns. Exile your thing. I have to make spawns if I want Merit Lage this turn, which I do. Played another Eldrazi Temple. I know 3 of their 5 cards in hand don't help here. Mycospawn. Okay, if they... I have to go now. Because if they tutor Wasteland with this, I'm cooked. All right. Crop rotation, sack the Ancient Tomb, get Thespian Stage. If their deck plays a Caracas, they have this covered that way, but Mycospawn just completely checkmates me here. Copy this, keep this one, make a 20/20. One of these abilities fizzles, the other can find something. Wow, okay. They don't have a Caracas or they boarded it out. All right, I missed the lethal shove for a turn. Ended up not getting punished, but it was really dangerous and messy to do it that way. I will dial in and pay more attention to that moving forward. I'm on the draw now. Chalice of the Void's way scarier. They've seen crop rotation. If they boarded out their chalices thinking I was not a deck that cared, now they know that I am. But I only care a little bit. I'm on the draw though. All right. I'm going to hit submit with the same cards. I don't think trying to engage them in a combat-centric Eldrazi game is going to be useful to me. This hand is full of cards that are good, but it doesn't ramp at all. And I know my opponent's the full Lotus Petal build. I think I have to mulligan to a hand that goes a little bit fast. Okay, I'll take this and bottom an Ancient Stirrings. This at least has Mox Diamond that can accelerate. They have the Eye of Ugin start again. Okay, I'm going to use Mox Diamond, and I'm going to discard Boseiju because Yavimaya Coast is currently the only colorless source that I have. I might need that. And I'm doing this first in case I find Wasteland. Ancient Tomb, I'll take it. Give me that Ancient Tomb. And there goes 2 Dismembers and a crop rotation at the bottom. I don't care about the Cavern. I do care about the rest of that. I'll play the Coast because Ancient Tomb's more important. How big is this second turn? They kept 7. Yavimaya. I appreciate that. They don't have colorless mana right now. That's really important. Oh, they don't need it because they have this fucking idiot. God, I hate this card. Please, please, Wizards of the Coast. If I am spiraling out from a week and a half in the past over how fucking stupid Sowing Mycospawn is, and you didn't ban it today, I'm going to be mad at you. Just putting that out there. And if this is... Cool. Yeah. If it is banned today and you're all watching this knowing and chuckling and chortling that justice was served, then good. I think I'm going to lose my Thought Knot here. Imagine calling Sowing Mycospawn a 4-drop or a 6-drop in good faith. The defenders of it have been saying stuff like, oh, you're going to ban a 6-drop in Legacy? You're lying. You know you're lying. Shut up. It's a 2-drop. Speaking of knowing we're lying and leveraging powerful cards, One Ring off the top. Give me that money. Okay, hopefully the One Ring can overcome that insane start they had. But now that they know that I have Merit Lage, if they literally just have a Kozilek's Command in their hand at any point, they win. Okay. Ring on ring combat. Any advantage I had is now gone. I got to tap my ring first, which I guess is a small advantage, but they had a much better start before the rings came down. A command. A Loam. Okay, so Mox Diamond, discard Vista. Loam, pick up 2 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loam 2 things up. I could start Besieguing lands over there, if I think that helps. I'm not sure if it does. Not with a ring going. Vista... Just play Exploration. That ends up with the same amount of mana this turn. Exploration. Boseiju. Cast Mycospawn. For a tutor. Should probably get Thespian Stage here. I don't have an Eye of Ugin. Okay, my spawn can at least stop the spawn beats from the opponent. The One Ring is also a card that's being discussed for banning. Obviously, you all are living in the future where you know how today went. But the One Ring for me is my tier under the cards that I really think need to go. But if there is a subtle offender underneath the most obvious things that should not be good and are creating bad play patterns, the One Ring is not far behind. It's not on my call sheet today, but it could be in the future, and I wouldn't be sad if it was gone. Fleshraker. I do not have the ring protection. I'm going to take 2 damage in my upkeep. How dead am I? I am functionally at 8. Mycospawn doesn't even cost colorless to cast in the first place. It's just breaking various rules of the game and Eldrazi rules. In the past, it was just the big Eldrazi's that had cast triggers. Like, Thought-Seer is little. It's an ETB trigger. The big ones, the Ulamugs and the Emrakuls, had cast triggers. So this is a little one with a cast trigger that also doesn't require colorless mana to even get on the stack in the first place. Just breaking all the rules. And I am actually just dead. Sweet. I'm having fun. Do you love Legacy? Please, Wizards. Please, Wizards. Drop that ban update. Let us know.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 4. And these hands are so tempting, but also so weak to Wasteland and really don't do anything. Like, without the Lotus Petals and the Spirit Guides and the Once Upon a Times to really cheat this, or Chalice of the Void as a big thing to do on turn 1, I think I just have to keep this, even though it feels super anemic. We've got a Polluted Delta in the chat. I'm going to run out my Ancient Tomb. This can at least cycle Kozilek's Command, and it could lead to a faster One Ring. Oh good, Entomb. We're dead! Kozilek's Command coming a turn late. Oh, Valgavoth. This is what we're doing? Reanimating Valgavoth. Okay, so I think I just concede. There's nothing I can do about this. 9/9 Flying Lifelink. Okay, yeah, good game. Lose the die roll, lose the game. Welcome to Legacy. Late Line of the Void's coming in. Life from the Loam, Explorations. I guess Exploration is how I advance on mana, which is something that I've called out as kind of a weakness of this build. Okay, let's go. If they have Valgavoth, I wonder if that's just a third monster in the normal Dimir Tempo monster suite, or if they are a bigger Reanimator deck with 5 or 6 monsters. Okay, I'm on the play. I will keep this. This is at least enough to have a Kozilek's Command at some point. Got Eldrazi Temple and pass. Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Can't take both of my Kozilek's Commands at least. I have 3 pieces of disruption that I'll turn on the next turn. Getting to work on the commands is the choice here. If they daze, they can't Entomb Reanimate. If they have Force, they win anyway, so I'm just going to cast my Thought-Knot-Seer. If they counter and then reanimate Thought-Knot-Seer, that takes the Kozilek's Command as well. I'm just here to cast my spells. Gotta do what we gotta do. Underground Sea, pass. Thespian Stage. Yeah, I'm gonna play the stage here. I still have a big Kozilek's Command, and I can kick Mycospawn next turn. Like, spawning for Wasteland there would not be irrelevant, but if they're on any kind of slower hand, kicking it's gonna ruin their life. End step Brainstorm, main phase fetch land, blue-black in the pool. Animating my Thought-Knot-Seer. Okay, well, I will Kozilek's Command, playing around days. Target player scries X and exile X things. Exile Thought-Knot-Seer and I guess Brainstorm. I don't know. They don't have a creature in their graveyard. I can at least make Thought-Knot or Murktide a little weaker. If they Force of Will this, they'll have a 3/4 Thought-Knot-Seer versus my nothing versus my Merit Lage. Yeah, they can't even break up Merit Lage here. This is mostly fine. Force pitching Borrower. Okay. Borrower is an answer to Merit Lage, which they saw the first time around. That makes me think they must have another answer to Merit Lage, or else what are we doing here? Dark Depths, pass. I think I should just be making the Merit Lage. Yeah, they're a Wasteland deck. If they have Brazen Borrower, they get me either way. Yeah, here we go. Yep, multiple Borrowers. Unsurprising, because we saw one pitch to Force when they knew they had the situation under control. Wasteland, might as well. I'm saving this Boseiju. If I draw a green source, I can at least clear the Thought Knot and draw a card by hitting Animate Dead. Basic Island Tutored and End Step Brainstorm. They've got a Wasteland, that's fine. I'll float Eldrazi mana, make you wonder. Thought Knot's getting in. This clock is modest. It'll be pretty scary when they get the second Borrower, but I can still recover this. Kozilek's Command is nice. Cycle Troll. Good news. Found an Underground Sea. I hope they just shove a Reanimate right now. I thought Knot's attacking. Murktide Regent. Alright. Caught me slipping a little bit. And I have to just draw cards and make Scions at this point. And I wasn't going to exile all the spells from their graveyard anyway. That was on Troll of Khazad-dûm duty. Just daze me. Last card in your hand, daze. Let me go home. Eldrazi Temple's gone. Dark Depths is gone. Drew Wastes. And Leyline of the Void. Okay. Dead again. I'm trying really hard to do cool things with this deck. I know King of the Depths doesn't send me decks that he hasn't worked on and really put thought into. And I am just getting clowned by the upper echelon of bannable legacy decks. Round after round. Hopefully the last round we have someone, I don't know, maybe give me like Bug Beanstalk or someone who's just trying to play Magic. On to the final round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/TheResleevables. I'm on the draw in the final round. I think I'm 0 for 5 on die rolls as well. Just maximum pain in this league. 2 cool green cards, no green sources, no lands that actually do anything, gonna mulligan. Okay, I guess I am keeping this, and I'll put Boseiju on the bottom. Maybe I don't need Yavimaya Coast if I have Ancient Tomb and Wasteland already. I'm supposed to hold on to Boseiju there. Island Ponder. Come on. Fair Magic, let's go. Come on. Opponent has chosen a cool glowing ring in the ocean island from March of the Machine. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna play Ancient Tomb and pass. Life from the Loam at least gives me a plan. If they are a Wasteland strategy, I can work my way back up. Polluted Delta. Underground Sea. What's happening? Baleful Strix. Okay. Baleful Strix at least indicates some interest in going a little bit slow. I'm gonna go for the Wasteland here, try to get a cheese. With the Loam in hand, the Wasteland is just doing a lot. A lot more than it would be if it was just Wasteland. Let's see, Meyer. We have a James Casal Grixis enjoyer in the chat. Ponder. If this is James Casal Grixis, that deck plays like 5 basic lands. And it would not have made a lot of sense to fetch Underground Sea last turn. They did not shuffle Ponder, quickly fetched Basic Swamp, and Thoughtseize. Go ahead, dig in. A bunch of stuff that costs 4. A Thoughtseized my Mycospawn, correct, because that card is not beatable by anyone. I am going to bog them, just in case of Murktide, in case of Snapcaster. Getting this tap land out of the way matters as well. The alternative is casting Loam, picking up Wasteland versus the opponent who has 2 basics in play, or holding up Kozilek's Command for 1, which is not how I want to play Magic against a Baleful Strix strategy. Ponder. I am waiting to see if a red source is revealed or if a Wasteland is revealed. That would tell me if they are Dimir Tempo or if they actually are Grixis Control. Well, let's get in there. Big fella. Have a look. Thought Knot resolved. And Grixis Control confirmed. All right. I think I want to take this Force of Will. That at least lets me make a plan. Though Bowmaster plus Lightning Bolt can clear Thought Knot. Maybe it's just Bowmaster. Yeah, I'm going to take Bowmaster after some consideration. If they're going to kill my Thought Knots here, I wanted to cost them actual spells and a lot of mana. I don't want them to be able to, with their available onboard resources right now, Bowmaster plus Bolt, and then be ahead on board and get their card back. Kept a card on top. Brainstorm. All my hard-earned information is gone. The second Wasteland in my hand rips pretty hard, though. I can waste the Undercity Sewer and then loan back 2 lands. Chill! Okay, yep, just Grixis Control doing its thing. Removal spells, real good. And did not shuffle Brainstorm, so they just redrew one of the cards, had the option to shuffle it away, not interested. Wasteland, your Undercity Sewer. Play from the loan back 2 Wastelands. Did they find a Cling to Dust on that Brainstorm as well? I have 2 Wastelands, so that barely matters, but yikes. Yeah, Grixis Control is so sweet when it's working. It's real bad when it's not, but you definitely have lines to figure out anything. Like, my opponent just tore apart my board, and they still have the same number of cards in hand as they did when they started. Because killing the Thought Knot is a cantrip, Cling to Dust is a cantrip. Another Brainstorm, still moving stuff around. Land number 4 achieved. I don't think I'm going to dredge Loam. I found a Wasteland anyway. Take out Badlands. Floated a black. Cycled Lorien. Okay. Digging for that 4th land. Another basic island. I could Kozilek's Command the Baleful Strix now. The Lorien was the blue card that we knew about to go with Force. I think I'll end step, exile, and dig. Target player scries X, draws a card, exile target creature. Embarrassing to have to fight over a Baleful Strix like this, but it is killing me. Force pitching Force. Okay, so that was worth a fight to them as well. That's all 4 Wastelands accounted for. I guess I'm going to play Dark Depths and begin the slow melt. If this is James Casal Grixis, there is 1 basic mountain. And holding back Wasteland, they fetched Badlands instead. They'll probably start burning me out here real soon. Looks like they're going to flashback Cling to Dust, probably take my Loam. Yep. The engine is online. Another Brainstorm. So good. I missed that card. As I sit here on turn 8 with a graveyard with 3 spells in it and looking at 7 lands available to me. And now wasting the Badlands doesn't even matter. We're going to die to the Strix if I don't find a Thespian Stage real quick. Kozilek's Command. Okay. Another one of those. They have 5 points of burn in their hand that we have seen. They're fetching. If they flashback Cling again, I'll respawn by exiling Strix and looking at some cards. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kozilek's Command. Exile target creature, target player scries. I can't tap this Ancient Tomb again, this game. And I might just die to Snapcaster anyway. Bottoming 2 lands that don't help. Mox Diamond. Welcome to the party. You're late. Tameo. Well, that doesn't kill me. I'll take it. Waste. We know Wasteland Badlands. They might just fire off Burn here in response. But if they don't, I can take them off red again. Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. Well, that's actually a clock. Wasteland, the Valk. Do you still have the Bolt? Did you shuffle that away in your 9 Brainstorms you cast this game? Oh, yeah. So I'm at 1. And I can't cast Ancient Tomb. And even if I make Merit Lage next turn, I will be at 1 and they can attack through it. And any red source cast Kolaghan's Command. Oh, I'm just getting Kaito'd right now. Sweet. Even better. Free me from my misery. But we did get what we asked for, which is somebody trying to play fair Magic. I'm not going to complain at all. Disruptor Flute. Could name Kaito, Blue to Delta. You can also name spells with this. You could name like Sheoldred's Edict the turn I go for it. I don't think I actually sideboard here though. This should be a deck that my main deck is equipped for, if my main deck is equipped for anything. It should be this. Okay, I have a fast track to Dark Depths I'm going to keep. This is a pretty solid start. It is extremely weak to Thoughtseize, but I have Wasteland Loam going, even if that happens, but their deck's full of basics, as we've seen. Coast, Exploration. I will drop the stage. I hate my life. Hate my life! What if they just didn't have Thoughtseize for one game in history? They did cast it off a non-basic, though. I've got a chance. Yep, crop rotation's gone. Obviously. Stirring. I'm gonna Wasteland. You don't have to play around Daze if they don't have an island. And I don't think this is a Daze deck anyway. Do they have Force of Negation? Do they have Surgical Extraction? There's a couple things that could happen here. Yeah, something's happening. Surgical Extraction. I guess I'm not enough of an Eldrazi deck to convince them not to bring in Graveyard Hate. But this was the classic decision of try to stop the loam by taking its target, or let it resolve, let the damage be done, and then take the loam to collapse the long-term engine. I don't mind dredging loam here, if I still have a loam by the time we get there. Cling to Dust, of course, still a thing they can do. And Badlands seems to indicate that that's what's happening. Awesome, yep. Never had a chance. I have to Ancient Stirrings into Dark Depths here. That's the plan. Stir. Dig 5, find Dark Depths, win the game. We did it. Okay. The One Ring is there too, which I can also cast, but I'm going to go for this. They have to have Shoulder's Edict now. I could have played this Forest, but I didn't. Right. Ponder taps them out of Shoulder's Edict. Is there a card for black-red that can beat a Merilage? I hope not. Did not shuffle Ponder. That's scary. End of turn. Ancient Tomb. Copy. Dark Depths. Cool. All right. We finally did it. Merilage. Getting in there. Okay, Disruptor Flute can name things like Consigned to Memory or Cling to Dust. I don't think I want to do that, though, because even Bajuka Bog matters, Cavern matters, all my tech lands matter, at least a little bit, and my land count matters for Mox Diamond. Yeah, no sideboard, let's get it. Super cool hand, but no green mana. Can I trust this deck to produce green in a timely manner? Probably not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 7, 9, 13 green sources in the deck out of 53 cards. A quarter of my hits, roughly, are what I need. This is so mid. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, I will keep this and bottom, I think, one of the Mox Diamonds. I think that's too many of those versus a known Kolaghan's Command deck. Yeah, okay, Mox Diamond is gone. Thespian Stage, I like it. Mox Diamond on the stack. If they consign or Spell Pierce or whatever that's not a huge deal, because that's a card that is not going to interact with the One Ring. That does take this Ancient Stirrings mostly out of my hand, though. Ponder. It took the shuffle. Have a land, though. The Thoughtseize. I'm going to lose my One Ring here, and then I have to draw some bangers before I'm dead. Dark Depths is a live draw throughout here. I have the stage already. Opponent's at 16. Thought Not Seer. That's a card with text on it. I guess I'll Cavern on Eldrazi, just in case I draw a 2-mana land next turn. They pass with a bunch of stuff up. Thespian Stage, get in. I can turn this into an island, swamp, or waste if it's under any sort of pressure. Basic Mountain. I think I do want Stage to become waste, just in case. Okay, Basic Forest is live now. I think I would rather give up that information and get a forest out of the way than play the Blast Zone and chill. Fucking hell, are you kidding me? This card is in the deck? I'm quitting Magic. That's it. That's the end. Okay. Surgical Extraction did something last game, and Opposition Agent did something this game. I mean, I do have crop rotations. I do have Sowing Mycospawns. That's fucking crazy. I will now turn my waste into their forest, though, and unlock my colors that way. It's disgusting, but it must be done. Or in revealed. You got it. I'll become a forest now. That was probably the most savage blowout that's happened on the channel in a long time by anyone. I thought not seer. I actually can't even cast the Sowing Mycospawn now. Search your library, not optional. Okay, just a million cards that kill me here. Price of Progress, Brazen Borrower, Brainstorm. Every single one of these cards is horrible. My plan, I guess, here is to ratchet the... I'm going to take Children's Edict because that's the cleanest answer to what I'm doing. And if I do just rip Merit Lage and Brazen Borrowers over there too, I'm so dead. Okay, they bounced my Thought Knot Seer. That's pretty aggressive. That does put power and toughness on the board faster though, and with the Price of Progress, every damage they deal matters. If they drew Thoughtseize for a turn, that's a combo. Another Mycospawn. Opponent has me completely shut down. I'm gonna have to stir here and just hope there's a land in the mix. Okay, a stage and a Boseiju. I'll take another stage here. I thought not seer. Redeploy. Can't be countered. Try again. Small victories in a game that I'm definitely losing. I'll take that. Yeah, they said oops, meant to counter the trigger. Yeah, I understand. I guess here I have to take Price of Progress because the game will end very quickly if I don't. I would like to take Brainstorm. Bowmaster's in. Brainstorm. I'm honestly impressed how just completely hard-locked I am by this opposition agent. This is going to take Ancient Stirrings, and then these Mycospawns are going to rot in my hand. Honestly, though, I love it. If a card as mopey and silly as Opposition Agent can shut down this horseshit, I don't even mind that I'm on the losing end of it. It's not even you may search for a land, so it's not like I could just drop this thing as a 3/3 and try to contest the board, which I would love to do. Oh good, Barrogoyf was the last card in the hand at the end of all that. At least they don't attack this turn. If I draw Dark Depths exactly right now without having to tutor it, we might have a chance. Okay, we don't have a chance. I guess I just have to cast on Mycospawn, which sucks really bad because they can tutor a wasteland. I guess I'll exile your Underground Sea and you get to search for a land. Like, they can start taking the Dark Depths out of my deck. They can get a wasteland that makes sure my Dark Depths will never work, even if it does happen. But I'm losing to the board, so I can't just, like, not do this. Opposition Agent. I think all those turns ago, if I had just played the Blast Zone and cast Thought Knot without fetching, I would have at least seen the Opposition Agent. They wouldn't have this forest. It wouldn't have connected for 3 that first time because there would have been a 4/4 in the way. So many things would have been different, but how can you possibly know that and try to plan around Opposition Agent of all cards? They took one of my wastelands. That sounds like the right answer. I hope they just, like, jam it off. Maybe what I'm supposed to have been doing was ramping up my Blast Zone to 3 this whole time instead of playing other cards. But I've been steadily under pressure throughout as well. Okay, I'll try to put Blast Zone to 3 this turn, but now they have a wasteland. Am I just dead? I think I might just be dead. It doesn't matter. Okay, maybe there was a line where I ramped Blast Zone up to 3, but Opposition Agent crushing my entire soul. Okay, this league was terrible. No fault of King of the Depths or his attempt to build a cool deck. This deck, this style of deck, this entire universe of decks, and by that I mean people trying to make 3 or more land drops and then do something cool with their mana or their lands, is not viable in Legacy right now. If you are not determining the game in some significant way by turn 2 or 3, you are too slow in Legacy right now. All of the top decks are a combo deck or a stompy deck that has reasonable game against combo decks. A big part of that is this card Sowing Mycospawn. The games that I won, this was involved in. The games that I lost, sometimes my opponent was casting it, or I just couldn't find my own Mycospawn in time, or I got Thoughtseize before I could play it. Entomb Reanimate happening, like I'm ready to cast a turn 2 One Ring, but I'm already facing down Archon of Cruelty before that can even happen. Cephalid Breakfast, I only won that match because they whiffed. Like, they just had one of their Narcomoebas in their hand. I hope that decks like lands and like mid-range depth strategies become viable in the future if Wizards of the Coast manages the format the way that they need to. You can generally, truly, genuinely ban any number of Modern Horizons and Lord of the Rings cards, and no Magic player anywhere will care. Just please hack these back until we can play Legacy in an interesting way again. I hope that this league and the stern beatings that I received throughout it are a moratorium on this era of Legacy. I hope the ban list that comes out today is a good one and we get at least some, if not all, of what we want. Either way, stay tuned. Tomorrow there will be my reactions to the bans as the video for the day. King of the Depths, sorry we couldn't do better for you, but you saw it. A hostile spread of the best decks in Legacy, plus Grixis control with opposition freaking agent. I'm going to sign off, hopefully signing off Sowing Mycospawn for the last time. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.